Hi everybody, here's a video of stuff that I ordered and purchased before we weren't allowed to go out so much, and the businesses were closed and restaurants were closed and whatnot, that I haven't shared with you guys. So just to let you know right off the bat, this is a safe for work video, and I've got a lot of toys, some books, or maybe I have a lot of books and some toys. Maybe that's what I should say. At any rate, let's get started. So first off, I picked up several issues of the manga, and I believe it's called Blame, but I've heard it called Blom or Blame. I'm not sure, so at any rate, I picked up the manga. If you haven't seen the anime on Netflix, it's pretty cool. Also, it's by the same creator that did Knights of Sidonia. So if you haven't seen Knights of Sidonia, that's a pretty good anime as well, which is on Netflix. So you guys should check it out. At least I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And let's see. So I have I've got number 2 here, number 1. I believe there's 6 in the series, so far there's 3 and 4. So I have 2 more to pick up. I actually have a gift card from the Japanese bookstore that's burning a hole in my wallet right now, that I'm not able to use, but I think once they reopen up, I'm gonna go and get the other 2 volumes. So they're a nice size too. They're a bigger size, similar to Western comics. So I'm really happy with that. I like to be able to see the artwork nice and big. I like that a lot. Maybe it's because I'm kind of used to that, but I appreciate that. So, and then as well, I've picked up the David Bowie comic book. It's called Stardust, Ray Guns, and Moon Age Daydreams. So that's a pretty cool comic book. It's by Michael Allred and Steve Horton, and then Laura Allred is on there as well. So that's pretty cool. Let me see if I can show you a page. Oh yeah, this is a pretty cool page. So check that out there. And I'm a pretty big Bowie fan. I love David Bowie's music. He's one of the first artists that I ever got into as a kid. I really connected with his visual look, and Ziggy Stardust, and all that cool stuff, the Thin White Duke, and all of that. And I love his music, so I had to have the comic book when I saw that it came out. And it's not the first David Bowie comic book that came out, but it's I really like Michael Allred's artwork. And if you've seen his artwork, he's done like the Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer. He's had his own titles. And his artwork it's kind of like retro looking, so it's perfect for David Bowie or a David Bowie comic book. So another item that I picked up recently is a Jedi Mars manga, and I believe this is, well, obviously it's a reproduction of old Jedi Mars manga. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jedi Mars, but it's another Osamu Tezuka character. And I believe when Osamu Tezuka had Astro Boy kind of tied up in licensing deals, he couldn't produce, I guess, certain things of Astro Boy, so he came out with Jedi Mars, and then he was kind of able to do whatever he wanted to with Jedi Mars. So I love that. I love the just twist. I mean, basically looks like Astro Boy, and I love the twist on that. So also there's a manga called Tezuka, and so this is basically a manga book. I believe it's like a shonen manga book that has a lot of Osamu Tezuka characters in it. So I picked that up as well. And I picked up a few issues of it. There's another one. Oh, the backs also have like cool artwork. So let me see if this one, yeah, there you go. Has the Wonder 3 there on the back and on the front as well. If you haven't seen that anime, it's an old black and white anime, and it's about these 3 aliens, from what I can understand, and they come to Earth to help out this police officer or something like that. And when they come to Earth, so they don't, like, I guess, freak people out or whatever because they're aliens, they come in animal forms, and that's why you see them. There's a horse, a duck. What's the other character? Oh, and a rabbit. So, but I've only seen one episode on YouTube, and it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. If you like old, like, black and white vintage cartoons, then that'll be right up your alley. There's another volume there. And then this one has the Phoenix on the cover. The Phoenix is also on YouTube, and I think it's like maybe like 8 episodes or something like that. It's pretty cool. The artwork's really nice. You guys should check it out. And then I bought a Junichi Hayama Brushworks book. And then this just has so much beautiful artwork in it. It's all like watercolor, and it's just real loose, real simple, but the illustrations are really beautiful. And I thought, I mean, because some of you guys that know me, you know that I draw, and I thought it would just be a great addition to my collection and an inspiration to my own work. So pick that up. And then, of course, I've done some comic book hunting recently, and I picked up a couple of Marvel issues. I have X-Men number 35, and it says "Along Came a Spider." So this is Spider-Man meeting the X-Men, and I've always been fascinated with this cover, and I think it's so awesome. I love it. So I had to have that. And also Captain America number 110, and this is Captain America and Bucky meeting the Hulk, and it's by Jim Steranko. The artwork's by Jim Steranko, so it's just gorgeous artwork throughout the entire book, and so I had to have that. I have several comics by Jim Steranko, and I had to add this to my collection. And then, you guys know how I like J. Scott Campbell. So I had ordered some J. Scott Campbell books that I didn't already have when I made the J. Scott Campbell video. So it's in the Savage Land. It has Rogue, it has Storm, and I don't know who the other lady is. Sheena, maybe? Sheena? At any rate, when you put them all together, it makes one picture. And, I love J. Scott Campbell's artwork. That's just an awesome cover. You can see it has his signature at the bottom here, and then the X-Men title at the top. And I don't know if you remember back in the day when Jim Lee was doing the X-Men, and he did a cover of Rogue where she's in the Savage Land, and she has a similar outfit, similar motif and whatnot. So I feel like this is kind of an homage back to Jim Lee, and I love Jim Lee's art, so had to have that. Now getting into some figures and whatnot, a while back, my friend Roman had given me this model of Valkyrie VF1 battle droid, and it's a model, and I've never really built models myself. I would love to do it. I'm afraid, I would have been afraid to mess this one up. So I had Greg High Knight build that for me, and he builds amazing models, and he's a big Macross fan. and you know, he's here in Los Angeles. He's a DJ, and he works at the Q-Pop store over in Little Tokyo, and the guy just does amazing work. So I've picked it up recently from him, and here it is. Look at that guy. That is just awesome. Let's spin it around for you guys. And he added the missile launchers on the back, spreaded the wings out. He made this cool little wood base for it, and pretty excited to have it. It's kind of my first real like Macross like legit piece. You know, I have a couple of toys, but nothing this cool. So there's that. Awesome. Super happy about that. Thanks, Greg. And thanks, Roman. Thanks for the gift. So a couple of other things that I picked up. I picked up some Koto Bokuya toys, or actually they're kind of models too, but I think these snap together, so it's not as crazy as, you know, having to build one of the models where you have to glue it together and whatnot. But this is a character, and it's a Soul Roadrunner character, and the reason I bought this character was because actually I bought this motorcycle, and I love motorcycles like in anime and stuff, and you know, it takes me back to like Bubblegum Crisis and Akira and all those, you know, 80s iconic animes. So when I saw this motorcycle, I was like, I have to have that. That's so cool. I haven't built it yet, haven't even opened it yet, but I'm looking forward to that. Another item I picked up recently, and you may have seen this when I did the Frankenstein's video, was this giant robot figure here. And it's pretty big. It's probably about 20 inches or so tall. And I believe this was one of the villains in the live action series. And it may have been named Cleopatra or something like that. But this was a robot that was supposed to fight Giant Robo. And when it came to them squaring off, this robot wouldn't turn on. So it didn't do anything in the whole episode. It just stood still. So if I remember correctly. But anyway, when I saw it, I thought it was awesome. And I was like, oh, I have to have that. So it's just kind of like an alternate version of the giant robot, the regular figure. And I have this figure, the giant robot version, but I didn't want to pull it out of my cabinet because I thought it was going to be kind of a hassle because there's a bunch of toys in front of it, and I'd have to pull all those toys out, and then, yeah, you get it. So anyway, on top of that, I bought the Yoshitaka Amano book, and if you've been familiar with this particular artist, he did artwork for Gotcha Man. He's done artwork for Vampire Hunter D, and he's got just a ton of beautiful artwork of his own that I believe are just pieces of artwork, like original artwork and stuff like that. But this was a pretty cool book. When I saw it, I had to have it. It's not a new book, but it's new to me. The artwork's not new to me, or obviously Vampire Hunter D, or Gotcha Man, or any of those characters, but as far as adding it to my book collection, I thought it would be a pretty cool book to have. So, and then I had ordered this book, The Rise of Skywalker, and it's the Art of Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. And I try to collect all of the Star Wars art of books. It's kind of one of my favorite things. So I picked this one up. And I ordered it quite a while ago, but I guess because of the release date or whatever, it just showed up a couple of days ago. So I was pretty excited that this came. The strange thing is nowadays is that the art of books don't necessarily launch when the movie launches anymore. Am I crazy, or was that a thing? Because I think I remember several books launching right when a movie launched, but not so much anymore. I know the last few art of books didn't launch at the same time for some reason. And then the last thing on my list here is the Imperial troop transport from The Mandalorian. So I had to pick that up. I saw this and I was like, ooh, I gotta have that. That's cool. So let's see, there's the artwork on the back. And then there's the artwork on the top there. Shows you just a couple of different views of the vehicle. But I don't know, for some reason I really love the vehicles from Star Wars. I collect a lot of the vehicles from Star Wars. You know, I have several TIE fighters, and I have an AT-AT walker and a couple of chicken walkers and stuff like that. I really love the designs. And so when I saw this, especially how much like distressing it had on the vehicle, I was okay, that looks legit. Now my only question is, oh, okay, I was just gonna ask if the figures were included on here, because they look like, you know, like the figures are distressed too. But it says on the box, figures not included. And it says that in several different languages. But I thought it might be. But anyway, I recently dug out some old figures from my garage of stormtroopers. I had a couple, actually like 3 figures, but only 2 of them are stormtroopers. But anyway, these are from when I was a little kid. The other one's a snow trooper. So these are from when I was a little kid. So I dug these out because I was like, oh, I'm gonna need that for the transport. So I dug these guys out. So now that I know it doesn't come with figures, then I'll use those figures. And if I need more, then maybe I'll go on eBay or something like that and try to scoop up some other ones. But anyways, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you guys are having, you know, a nice relaxing time, and you're not too stressed out at home. And if, you know, hanging out helps us, helps me, whatever, then it's great to hang out with you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. Stay safe, stay well. See ya.